It was a pleasure to burn. It was a special pleasure to see things eaten, to see things blackened and changed. With the brass nozzle in his fist, with this great python spitting its venomous kerosene upon the world, the blood pounded in his head, and his hands were the hands of some amazing conductor, playing all the symphonies of blazing and burning to bring down the tatters and charcoal ruins of history.
With his symbolic helmet numbered 451 on his stolid head, and his eyes all orange flame with the thought of what came next, he flipped the igniter, and the house jumped up in a gorging fire that burned the evening sky red and yellow and black. He strode in a swarm of fireflies.
He wanted above all, like the old joke, to shove a marshmallow on the stick in the furnace, while the flapping pigeon-wing books died on the porch and lawn of the house, while the books went up in sparkling whirls and blew away on the wind turned dark with burning.
Montauk grinned the fierce grin of all men singed and driven back by flame. He knew when he returned to the farmhouse, he might wink at himself, a minstrel man, burnt cork, in the mirror. Later, going to sleep, he would feel the fiery smile still gripped by his facial muscles in the dark. It never went away, that smile. It never ever went away, as long as he remembered.
The trees overhead made a great sound of letting down their dry rain. The girl stopped and looked as if she might pull back in surprise, but instead stood regarding Montague with eyes so dark and shining and alive that he felt he had said something quite wonderful, but he knew his mouth had only moved to say hello, and then when she seemed hypnotized by the salamander on his arm and the phoenix disc on his chest, he spoke again.
Of course, he said. You're a new neighbor, aren't you? And you must be. She raised her eyes from his professional symbols. The fireman. Her voice trailed off. How oddly you say that. I'd have known it with my eyes shut, she said slowly. What, smell of kerosene? My wife always complains, he laughed. You never wash it off completely.
No, you don't, she said in awe. He felt she was walking in a circle about him, turning him end for end, shaking him quietly, and emptying his pockets without once moving herself. Kerosene, he said, because the silence had lengthened, is nothing but perfume to me.